I'm sure people will continue to trickle in as the time continues, but again, thanks so much for joining. My name is Noah Hansen. I'm the School Outreach Coordinator for Go DC Go. And today we're going to be covering some back to school techniques, programs, commuter benefits, and initiatives available to teachers and staff in the district, kind of from the school administrator perspective. But if you're a teacher or a staff member at a school who doesn't necessarily have that kind of leaning, this should be great for you as well. We've got all sorts of really great information. So thanks again for being here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So we have quite an agenda today. Again, don't fret if you miss anything. This presentation will be recorded, and the recording will be sent out to everyone who registered. And we'll also have some resources available for you to download that will have a lot of the same information that we've got in this presentation. So don't fret, but we do have quite an agenda for this afternoon. First up on the agenda, though, is who we are as Go DC Go. Go DC Go is an initiative of the District Department of Transportation. We are the leading resource for transportation information and options in the district. We encourage the use of sustainable transportation, and we offer complimentary transit resource and consulting services to DC organizations and commuters. So I work with schools, but my colleagues work with employers, residential buildings, hospitality companies, you kind of name it, where we're trying to work with them to reduce the number of folks driving in the district. Our goal serves to decrease traffic congestion, improve air quality, and create a better quality of life in the DC area. So my work focuses pretty heavily on helping schools make the switch towards promoting and having more folks not drive to and from school. But before we go ahead and get started into the main content of the presentation, we're going to do a really quick poll. How do you plan on getting to school this year? So whether you're a teacher, a parent, staff administrator, what's your plan to get to and from school? I've launched this Zoom poll, so take a second or two. It's multiple choice, so if you're getting by multiple ways, feel free to indicate that on the survey. Looks like we have some sustainable transportation heroes in the chat today. Folks biking on their own bike, Metro Rail, taking the bus. Lots of folks taking the bus this year, walking to work. A couple of folks driving alone, but that's no problem. Hopefully you can try another mode this fall, and we'll have a little bit more information about how you can actually get rewarded for trying a new sustainable option later in the presentation. All right, we'll give it about 5 more seconds or so. Perfect. So we have, looks like most folks, the plurality of you are going to be taking a bus of some kind to get to and from school, as well as, we've got a quite a diverse crowd of folks using different modes of transportation to get to and from school. And we're going to share a little bit of information about how you can help you and your colleagues save money on and using many of these other modes. So kind of the biggest thing that I wanted to cover, or the first thing I wanted to cover for this presentation, is where we are at in our goals at DDOT for sustainable DC transportation. By 2032, we're hoping to have public transit usage in the city up to 50% of people commuting. Right now, we're at about 31.5, which is a lot higher than other cities, but we still have quite a ways to go. Biking and walking, we are still, we're at about 16.7% or so, and we're looking to get that up to 25% of people commuting to and from work. And we're trying to reduce those folks driving by car by about 25%. So we are still a little bit of, or to 25%. So we do have a little bit of ways to go, but we are, as a city, doing really well in terms of getting folks out of their cars and into new modes of transportation, like biking, walking, taking transit, etc. And hopefully, if we do all of these right, we can reduce greenhouse gas emissions from transportation in the district by 60%. So definitely we'll have some rewards, keep our climate a little nicer, keep our air cleaner, keep our streets safer. So thanks for all you do as school professionals, teachers, community members who are here, obviously committed to promoting sustainable transportation. A little bit about our program. So we work with schools, as I mentioned, with complementary consulting services to increase participation in commuter benefits, getting more folks carpooling to work, more families carpooling to school, walking, biking, taking public transit, all those good things. But we do recognize schools who work with us in our program. We have the Ambassador Awards program where schools can be ranked on a level of bronze to platinum. And you can use this as a way to showcase your school's commitment to sustainable transportation. We also do an annual awards ceremony in March where we award schools for having an emerging commuter program, a school transportation coordinator of the year, or outstanding partner with GoDCGo. So definitely, if this is something you're interested in helping your school become a part of, feel free to reach out. My contact information will be available at the end of the presentation. But now I wanted to really jump into the different programs available to staff and faculty at schools in the district that you all might be interested in promoting this fall. The first one is pre-tax commuter benefits. So this is a huge program. Most employers in the district offer it, but particularly DCPS does offer a pre-tax commuter benefits program for DCPS staff and faculty. And most other employers, private and charter schools, should be required and are required to offer some type of pre-tax commuter benefits. To do so, you must have a SmartTrip card. You can buy it at any Metro rail station or CVS pharmacy. You can also buy them in bulk if your employer wants to be able to give them away as well. DCPS staff and faculty can sign up for commuter benefits through PeopleSoft. If you work at a private school or a public charter school, you may have a different interface for transit benefits. So a lot of third-party HR providers like ADP, other ones, I can't name a bunch off the top of my head, but there are many different companies that offer this service as well. But you can also sign up for free with Smart Benefits, which is a program of SmartTrip that your business can actually enroll for free and not need a third-party provider. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to reach out at the end of the presentation. There is no open enrollment period for these benefits, so they can be enrolled in from month to month at any time, and also can be canceled at any time if you find that you're not using it or you have too much stored on your card and you don't want to take out money from your paycheck. You can change that from month to month. Although, especially if you have a private provider, it may change depending on that, whether or not there's a certain day of the month prior that you have to do so. It can depend. So definitely check with your provider. If you're with DCPS, though, you can do it at any point for the next month. These fares can be used on Metro Rail, Metro Bus, the DC Circulator, as well as regional bus providers if you don't live in the district, including the Fairfax Connector, Ride On, the bus in Prince George's County, and ART in Arlington. So it works all around the region, kind of no matter where you live. And you can purchase fare value like cash, basically the same way if you put money in at a SmartTrip vending machine at a metro station, or you can use it to purchase pass, which you can put towards an unlimited monthly pass, which they now offer passes for Metro plus bus. And they're pretty affordable. It's a great way to save a lot of money on your commuting. How it kind of works is that the money is taken out of your paycheck prior to taxes. So whatever your tax rate is effectively the discount you're going to get on public transit. So you can save a lot of money, and it's a great way, especially with gas prices on the rise. Car ownership is more costly than it's ever been. That this is a really great time to start promoting to your employees and your colleagues that they should try commuter benefits, especially if they are already taking the bus or metro to work. Capital Bike Share is another program in the district. So Capital Bike Share is the city's bike share program. There are, sorry, we have some folks joining us. I just want to make sure we can let them all in. Capital Bike Share is the district's official bike sharing service. There are stations all around the district. An annual membership is normally $85 for non-DCPS employees. But for DCPS, because you're government employees, they're actually completely free. And we'll have instructions in our back to school packet that I will have the download link available for at the end of this presentation. But corporate memberships are also available for public charter and private schools. So if your community doesn't already take advantage of this program, let me know. Feel free to reach out. My contact information will be available at the end of the presentation, and I can get you in touch with Capital Bike Share to get your school all ready to go on a corporate membership. But if you're a DCPS employee, all DCPS employees can already enroll 100% for free. It'll get you unlimited 45-minute rides on the red Capital Bike Share bike. So that's the one like in the photo. These are just regular bikes that must be returned to a station. And it also allows you to unlock a black cabbie e-bike, which are they're black cabbie bikes. They are electric bikes, so they have an e-assist motor. And you can actually unlock those for free, and it's only 10 cents a minute to use, which can really save you a lot of time and money if you've got to make a connection, after a metro station, or, maybe you miss the bus and you want to be able to, make that connection relatively easily. It's a really great option and among the most affordable e-bike bike share programs in the country, really. And with the black e-bikes, you can park them at or for free at any cabbie station. But if it's a little out of the way, or the station is full, you can park it at any public bike rack, including the ones at your school, for a $2 fee. So a great way to get directly to the school while still saving quite a bit of money on your transportation costs. Certainly cheaper than an Uber. And I own an e-bike personally, and I can say they really are the most efficient way to get around the district. It's pretty hard to beat, especially with the ease of parking and everything. We do have a question about, is a helmet included for DCPS? Your helmet does not, you can get a helmet for free, but it is not necessarily provided when you signed up. Capital Bike Share does have a store on their website where you can request a helmet. I believe they may have to pay shipping, but helmets are, I believe, available for free. But it does not come automatically when you sign up. A little more information about biking to and from work. GoDCGo has a really great program going on right now called Get Paid to Pedal. It's a program where teachers and staff, if you purchase a bicycle, can and you submit your receipt, it'll be $200 reimbursed to you from GoDCGo. So a really great program that lots of teachers have taken advantage of. We've had teachers at more than 90 schools in the district take advantage of this program. And the information, you can find it as at godcgo.com/bike-incentive. And more information about this and all the other programs I'm talking about will be in the presentation materials that I'll have download links at the end, and our back to school packet as well. If you do buy a new bike, or you just bought one over the summer, it works great because you can actually do it for 6 months prior. So if you bought a bike over the summer and you're like, oh, I wish I could have gotten the reimbursement, you still can. As long as you bought it within 6 months prior of your application, you are still eligible to get the $200, as long as it was for commuting and it was a formal bike purchase, not through not like not like Craigslist, but like through a vendor. And I definitely recommend going to a local bike shop because it's great to have that connection. You'll know they can fix your bike, all that good stuff. If you got a new bike and you're looking, you're wondering, I don't know what to do with this bike, I don't think I have the right equipment, or I don't feel like it's apt for commuting. We did have a great webinar just a few months ago where I went over new bike owners essentials. So the link will be in the presentation when we share it at the end, but definitely go check it out if you're interested in learning a little more about buying a new bike, especially because I was a recently new bike owner and wanted to share kind of what I've learned both through my work and also just being a bike owner myself. If you're looking for more information about biking in the district, I definitely recommend the Washington Area Bicyclists Association website, WABA. They have all sorts of really great resources about biking safety, bike laws, updated bike maps, which we also have as well on GoDCGo's website. But they also offer great classes and instructional courses that people can take advantage of, especially if you're someone who maybe hasn't biked in a city before, or maybe you never learned how to ride a bike. There's no shame in that. WABA has some really great classes for adults to learn how to ride a bike. So they are very popular. They fill up very quickly. So definitely don't feel like you're going to be alone in the world of not knowing how to ride a bike, because they have great programs, both for beginners and advanced riders alike. Finally, if you find that your school doesn't have enough bike parking, you see kids, locking their bikes to trees, or you only have one bike rack and it's, not in the greatest condition, DDOT can actually and will install a free bike rack on your campus or institution. You just have to request it by calling 311. I probably recommend getting in touch with your manager of strategy or logistics, or whoever handles operations on your campus, whether you're a private school, public charter, or public school. But regardless, DDOT will do so for free. It might take a few months. I think they budget about 3 months to get it installed, especially with like the planning process involved with it. But definitely something to check out if you find that your school does not have enough bike parking. We do know, though, however, for a lot of people who work at schools, most people don't live in the district. We know that 75% of people who work at schools in the district live in Maryland or Virginia. And because of that, we know a lot of people either feel they have to or do have to rely on driving. This can be a real issue because, as some of you are probably astutely aware, many of the schools in the district, including those that have been repurposed for public charter or private schools, are schools that are built, sometimes over 100 years ago, and have been repurposed and refitted and retrofitted over the years. But one thing they could not do is procure, a lot of new land for parking spots. So most schools in the district really do have extremely limited parking. Because of this, we recommend finding a carpool if works for you. You can both do it with your colleagues, which might be a little easier because you're going to the same place. You can trade off. You don't have to worry about, either transferring to another transit service or anything. But it can be a really great way to save time, money, gas, and tolls if you take advantage of the HOV lanes on the region's highways. Commuter Connections, which is a regional government agency or a program of the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments, also known as COG. They have a great program and service where you can actually put in your commute information, where you're starting and where you're going, and it'll pair you with other people who are making similar commutes who are also open to carpooling. So this can be a really great way to find another person to carpool with you, especially if you have your own car. That can make it worth it. For some folks, they aren't able to get, they don't have parking in the neighborhood. I know some schools have partnerships with nearby parking ramps and parking garages to have permit parking for staff and faculty. So you can save a lot of money if you're doing it with at least another couple other people in the car as well. So if you're interested in finding more information about Commuter Connections carpool matching service, the QR code is right there. Or you can just go to the Commuter Connections website, which I believe is commuterconnections.org. So definitely something to take advantage of given especially the limited parking available at schools in the district. So now you've got all this information. You've got staff and faculty or yourselves who've signed up for commuter benefits or signed up for the free Capital Bike Share or corporate membership available at your school, or you're just trying to get some more information or helping a colleague try to plan their commute. We've got some really great resources for planning your commute or helping folks plan theirs. We recommend for taking the Metro or Metro bus using WMATA's trip planner on their website. It has all sorts of information, including the fare cost. It has interesting ways of transfers between bus and Metro, and also has real-time updated data about where buses are, where trains are, etc. Most importantly, it tells you how much your ride is going to cost, which the Metro is distance-based fares for the trains. So when you're buying a pass or you're trying to budget how much your ride is going to be, definitely check out how much your ride is going to cost. And if commuting during non-peak hours is something you can do, you can save a lot of money just by checking out their fares. If you're looking for more information about Capital Bike Share, you say you don't know where the nearest one to your house is, or the nearest one near your school is, or maybe you get to the one near your school and it's full and you got to go find another one. We definitely recommend checking out Capital Bike Share's interactive map. It has live data and information about all of the Capital Bike Share stations in the district, including how many bikes are available, if there are electric bikes or regular bicycles, and all sorts of other great info. So that way you don't have to worry about going to a station and going, all the bikes are taken because everyone's riding their bikes this morning. Or you're looking specifically for an electric bike and you don't want to have to end up at your station and not have one. So definitely recommend checking that out if you're a regular Cabby user. GoDC Go, our website, has a really great interactive map that allows you to go between the different modes of transportation. This is kind of just a screenshot of the map planner on our website, but it's a really powerful tool that can show you all the different ways you can get around the district and how they can work with each other. So definitely recommend checking that out. And finally, WABA, the Washington Area Bicyclists Association, does have some really great information about recommended bike routes in the district. So if you're a new bicyclist, I recommend checking that out while you're planning your route, especially if you're starting in a new school this year, or you've recently moved and you're just not familiar with your commute. And we've also built a lot of bike lanes in the last couple of years or so. Since COVID started, the district has really gone all out in terms of investing in bicycling infrastructure. And so, you can find out if there's new bike lanes along your route on WABA's website. Some other useful apps, just from my experience and the experience of my colleagues at GoDCGo that we recommend are Google Maps. It seems silly, it seems obvious, but it's not just for car directions. Google Maps is actually extraordinarily powerful for planning a bike commute and comparing different routes on the fly. They have all the latest bike lanes updated on their service. So you can actually see a map where it just has all of the bike lanes and routes available in the city, even delineates between, is it just a regular bike lane? Is it sharrows? Is it protected? Is it off-road? Is it dirt, etc. So it's got lots of really great information, and also shows you the elevation of your route as well, which can be extremely important, especially if you're riding on a regular bicycle. E-bikes can go uphill relatively easily, but we live in a pretty hilly city, so it can definitely change your commute by quite a bit if you're not aware of what the elevation is going to be. It also has integrated transit planning as well. So this, like the Metro website, uses the same data as well as Citymapper and Transit app, which I'll talk about in a second. But they all share the same WMATA data, or what other transit agencies in the region. They all use the same API and data. So you're still going to get the most up-to-date information about where buses are, etc. And you can say, I want to arrive at 9 a.m. It'll tell you these when the bus and the train come, and then you can plan accordingly. Citymapper is personally my favorite way to plan commutes in the district. It has some really interesting tools where it can combine, say you want to take a bus and he goes to a station where there's a Capital Bike Share station, and then you can, cut across to save a transfer on a bus or a transfer on a train. It'll give you, a combination of different modes, as well as having, just like Transit app, which does very similar, except it focuses more on just one mode instead of combining them. But both of them also have information about Lyft and Uber in them as well. So if you are in a pinch, or you have to drop your kids off at daycare and it's raining and the bus is running late, or it's snowing and it's just you can get that quick glimpse at, how much would it cost if I needed to get a quick ride on Uber or Lyft to get to and from school. So something interesting. And any school staff member can, including any of you, can sign up for a one-on-one consultation with me. My Calendly, which is the website that people can use to sign up for a meeting time with me, will be available at the end of the presentation. But there is an event on there meant for commute planning hours, office hours for staff and faculty. We can also host on-campus events at your school. One of our favorite things to do is a commuter benefits fair, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But that's a really great opportunity for people to come ask questions. There's no question too silly when it comes to sustainable transportation. It can be very complex if you're really new to getting around without a car. So. One thing I wanted to plug today is that we have, you learned all about this information about the programs available, whether you're taking advantage of pre-tax commuter benefits, Capital Bike Share, biking to work on your own bike, or taking transit or carpooling. However you're doing it sustainably, you should take the Ace Your Commute pledge. So this is a pledge that we're running to help folks commit to taking a sustainable transit mode this school year. So if you do so, you'll be entered into a raffle to win one of our prizes. We have a couple of really cool prizes available: a set of Beats noise canceling headphones and a $300 Staples gift card for school supplies. So if you want to get the nicest pencils for your classroom, or you need to get some folders, or whatever you need from for supplies for your classroom or for your office, definitely something to take advantage of. And you get it just for committing to taking a type of sustainable transportation this year. So you can take the pledge at godcgo.com/aceyourcommute. You can also scan the QR code on the screen, and it'll take you to the website where you can sign the pledge. So definitely recommend checking that out. And I also, as I mentioned several times in the presentation, we have some really great brand new resources we're sharing this year. We put together these back to school guide packets. They're about 7-8 pages a piece, and they have everything you could possibly want in terms of information for programs for teachers. So we have one geared towards DCPS schools, which has all the information about the specific DCPS benefits that are district-wide. But we also have one that's geared more towards private and charter schools, or private schools who don't necessarily, have the same government government Capital Bike Share discounts, or necessarily the same commuter benefits info. Like the DCPS one does have instructions on signing up for commuter benefits, whereas we kind of have to point you in the direction of however your school does it for a public charter or a private school. So definitely check that out. The download links are available in those QR codes. Definitely recommend checking it out. You can print them out, have one in your office available for folks to check out, or just send it to your colleagues in an email so that they know that these resources exist and are available. But yeah, we also have lots of other really great resources on godcgo.com/resources. We can create a get around guide for your school where we create a map and guide to all the different bus routes, nearest Capital Bike Share stations, metro stations nearby, and bike lanes, etc., for your school. So definitely, if that's something you're interested in, do reach out. And how GoDCGo can support your school. We know that a lot of this can sound very daunting. Maybe you do want to help your colleagues commit to sustainable transportation. We have some really great ways that GoDCGo can partner with your community to promote sustainable transportation. We recommend hosting a commuter benefits fair with GoDCGo to help get the word out about your school's benefits options. If you work for DCPS, it's really easy because we already know all the benefits that you have, and we can just come with all of our information, knowledge, resources, swag to get folks signed up for benefits. We can do this during lunchtime, during the school year, hang out in your lunchroom or staff lounge and talk to folks if they come in to get coffee or, eat lunch. But we also can do any kind of events that you have coming up, staff meetings. We can come in remotely and share information. And we can also do a number of really great events and partnerships. And we didn't touch too much on with working with families this time, but we do a lot of work with families as well. And so if you're interested in having us come to campus to kind of preach to your to your families and let them know that, hey, they don't have to wait in the car line every day, that there are programs available and other ways to get around the city, including public transit and taking advantage of some of the programs that the city has. Definitely reach out if that's something you're interested in. We've presented at PTA meetings. We've set up tables at conferences in the past, book fairs, etc. So if that's something you've got going on, feel free to reach out and let us know because we are happy to partner with you on this. I recommend sharing the Ace Your Commute Pledge and Get Paid to Pedal programs with your colleagues. We'll have that information in a follow-up email as well as in this presentation that you'll be sent as well. Do share, the Get Paid to Pedal program it's free money on the table, $200 to get a bike for commuting. It's pretty hard to beat, and a lot of people, $200 will cover a cost of a brand new bike. So that we have people who are commuting based essentially for free because they got essentially a free bike. So definitely something to take advantage of. And then you can start planning for upcoming sustainability days. So in the next couple of months, we have a couple of really great options. Car Free Day, which is for the whole district, focused primarily on employers, is coming up on September 22nd. And if you go to their website, carfreemetrodc.com or .org, I think it is, you can take the pledge and you'll be entered to win a number of prizes that we have at GoDCGo and at the Council of Governments, who is running that regional program. And then Walk and Roll to School Day is October 7th. It sounds like rock and roll, but it's walk and roll. Folks, whether you walk to school, you're taking your biking, scootering, unicycling, what have you, we recommend taking advantage of that. You can host a table, and we're happy to work with you on planning your school's festivities for those as well. And these are just a couple of ideas for how you can promote sustainable transportation in your community. But definitely, let us know if it's something you'd like to partner with GoDCGo to help plan any events or anything with your school. So that is the end of my presentation. We didn't use the whole hour, so happy to take some questions. But if you do need to connect with me, or you'd like to connect with me about how we can increase usage of sustainable transportation at your school, or complete a sustainable transportation plan, or all sorts of really great resources we have available, and take advantage of my expertise and my time and knowledge, please feel free to reach out. My email is noah.hansen@godcgo.com. That is my direct phone number on there as well. And you can sign up for a meeting with me on my Calendly at calendly.com/noahhansen GoDCGo. You can also scan the QR code on the screen to schedule a meeting. We will be I will not be able to do the drawing right now, but we will be emailing the lucky winners of two of the people on this presentation will get a fun goodie bag, including a $50 Amazon gift card, Go DC Go swag, including a mug and all sorts of other good stuff. So we will be reaching out to you if you win, but I have a screenshot of everyone who is here, and we should have your information on our registration form. So we will be in touch with you to do so. But for now, I'm happy to take any questions, but if you don't have a question, feel free. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. We're planning on probably putting together a webinar that's going to be focused on programs and programs for families and students in the near future. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely keep an eye on your inbox because we will be doing so. My colleagues also do a number of other webinars kind of all about other programs in the district. So definitely keep an eye out on your inbox for that.